Uh, what I'm going to start today, is a question of how to work with tools, mediumship tools, how to work with them, and how to connect tools of mediumship. And tools can be just about anything you want to use for mediumship, anything you personally feel like that works for me. It should be what you feel is best for you, the connection to what's best for you. So if you're working with mediumship and you're saying, "Oh, I just love working with this," or "I love working with that," find what works the best for you. Find what works, and then you can always build off of that. When I said here today I was going to paper readings, a lot of people understand, like I'm going to show here on my screen. If you take a piece of paper, just a regular 8 by 10 piece of paper, think of a question. Think of something in your head that you would love to have an answer to. Then you just scrunch the paper up. Just squeeze it up and hold it and squeeze it until you get it to a point that you are happy with what the paper looks like once you squeeze it into a little ball. Once you squeeze it in a little ball, then you pick out a place on the vibration, a place on the piece of paper to start to pull it apart. What you're going to do is you're going to see different symbols, different things on the vibration. Different things will be inside the paper. You'll see them, like pictures of animals. Different things will show up. Yes, no questions. You'll start to take the thing apart, and you'll either see an N for no, a Y for yes. Different things will appear within the paper vibration, especially if you're giving readings or professional readings. And you're saying, "Oh my God, I'm going to give somebody a reading." If you have somebody crunch a piece of paper, you can start pulling the paper apart and see exactly different things within the paper. As you pull it apart, you start to look at it. You start to look at it. And once you've got it all unfolded, as much as you want to unfold it, and it's unfolded, then you look at it. What is the paper showing you? What is it telling you? The different bends, the different vibrations inside the paper will have words, have different symbols. Different vibrations will appear within the paper. That works extremely well if you're asking yes and no questions, something in that vibration, something in that connection. You just roll the paper together and unfold it and look at what's actually inside the paper. Sometimes you'll actually get people's faces. Different things will appear, people's names, different things will appear. And this is really good. This is a really good vibration to teach you, to train you. Because if you do this and you study it and you say, "Well, what does that mean to me?" Now, I've said here before with classes, with situations with classes and vibrations, it is what the vibration means to you, what connects to you, what the vibration is to you. Not what it is to me, what it means to me at all. It's what it personally means to you, how it connects to you. So if I see an amethyst stone and I see a purple stone in your vibration, well, right off, I would kind of think like spirituality, a connection to higher senses of consciousness, vibration of purple. I could go into angelic presence, different things. So what does purple mean to you? Does Saint Germain, the great I am, the purple follows Saint Germain. So I could go into Saint Germain situations with that. So it's what it actually means to me. And that's why you're trying to train yourself, especially with using these tools, to train yourself to do mediumship, to train yourself to connect to your higher self. What you're doing is you're taking your right side of your brain, your left side of your brain, and you're trying to get out of your brain. You're trying to get out of your brain. By playing with this, by moving this paper, by doing this paper, you're not concentrating so much on trying to connect to spirit. You're allowing yourself to open up. You're allowing yourself to get to a higher sense of consciousness. That's by doing that. Yes, when you do that. You do that to allow yourself to unplug, to get yourself out of the way. When mediums work, a lot of mediums will work, you'll kind of watch them work. Some people will stamp their feet. They'll do different things. Different things will happen when people work in mediumship. It's your little quirk. It's your little vibrational quirk. Everybody has one. Everybody has a little bit of quirk. All the years I've worked in this business, even the professional mediums, regular mediums, doesn't matter. People have little quirks of how they work, how they get themselves out of the way. Some people will touch the microphone cord. Some other people will do different things as they do public work or private work. They'll do certain things that will get them out of the way. That will clear the channel. That's what this paper reading does. It clears the channel. It allows you to clear the channel, but it has like threefold. You get a message from it. It clears the channel. And on top of that, it helps you to set your symbols, your vibration, your cyclic alphabet. Then there's always the pendulum. There's always the pendulum. The pendulum, doing the pendulum, allowing the pendulum to move. I explain to people, a lot of people will teach you that a pendulum, you hold it between your two fingers. Remember, you have pulses in your fingertips, pulses. Your fingertips pulse. So if you hold the vibration or hold the pendulum in your fingertips, you're not going to get a clear vibration of it. You're not going to get a clear vibration of that. What you're going to do is you're going to, your pulse and your fingertips will actually get the pendulum to move. What you do is you droop it over your finger, so you have no control over it. Just droop it over your finger, droop it, and allow it to move. That way you have no control over it. You're not controlling the vibration. Most of those things, most of the pendulums have stones at the end of the chains. Stones at the end of the chain are there for a reason. Is to hook them right in the finger to allow it to go over your finger. But don't hold the pendulum like that if you're planning on getting a brand new reading or a connection reading, because you're going to allow yourself to get yourself out of the way. So that works. Cards, different things with cards, and we're going to get into cards a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about cards. There's different types of cards. There's all kinds of different cards. These are wisdom cards. These are mystical wisdom cards. These are. You have the flower reading cards, the flower reading cards, the flower reading cards. Different cards. I have a lot of decks of cards, but what the cards tell you is not what the cards tell you. It's what they mean to you. I can read the Randy deck, the original deck of the Ace of Swords, the Cups, and I can read those cards. I can read the book, and it could tell me exactly what the card means. But it's not really exactly what it means to me. So you have to look at the cards and how they propel you, especially if you're going to read with cards. Understand what the cards mean in the deck before you start shuffling them. Before you put them out on the table, understand what they mean. Every card has a meaning. This one is is called the Web Reader, the Web Weaver. But you're really actually not looking at the web. You're looking at the picture that is actually on the card. What is that picture telling you? With the little fairy at the bottom of it, different things going on in the card over here, different things going on in the card. What is the card telling you? How does it get your attention? How does it propel you in motion? So what is going on with the card once you put that in motion? It's your symbols, your vibration of symbols. Same thing is with the flower cards. I can pull one of these flower cards out of here, and I picked up the yellow rhododendron. Now it's a yellow flower. Kind of looks a little bit like a sunflower. Different things in the vibration. It says different leaves on the vibration. Now, if you had picked this card and threw it in front of me, I would look at where the leaves are. The leaves are. There are 5 leaves on this vibration. That would give me a time limit, a time vibration. I would ask myself, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years. When is situations this person's life going to change? What's going to happen? They picked this card. Not because the yellow rhododendron has a meaning. It has a meaning. It has a vibrational meaning. But what does the leaves mean? You have like 5 flowers at the top of this thing too. So the question is what does the yellow mean to you? What does the green mean to you? What does the vibration mean to you? So that's what you're looking at. You're looking at setting your psychic vocabulary. You're looking at saying that. The same thing as when I pick up the cards here and I go, the map maker of destiny. That's what this card says, map maker of destiny. Now, that has all kinds of, the bird in it has a fairy flying over in the corner. There's a feather, there's a red book. There's all kinds of little things going on in this picture. Now, this picture is going to tell you something, too. Even though it's the 24th card of the deck, it's the vibration. There's different things here that could tell you different vibrations about the person who picked the card. Different vibrations with that. So what you're doing is you're teaching yourself, not re-envisioning or reassessing. You're teaching yourself how to accomplish that, how to put that in motion. When I was a kid, I used to do these pickup sticks. And they still sell them. They still have pickup sticks on the market. You can buy them. They have large ones or smaller packages of large. There's a very large set of pickup sticks. I use those a lot in classes. I use those in classes because I have people take the pickup sticks out. And the pickup sticks actually have little lines on them, little things on the pickup sticks. And what you do is you hold the pickup sticks up in your hand, and you ask yourself a question. What question you want to ask? Then you hold them and you drop them. Drop them on the table. Pickup sticks are a lot like the paper readings. They're going to show symbols within the sticks. Different things will show up with how the sticks land on the paper. Sometimes 3 or 4 sticks will run away from the rest of the sticks. That's a symbol. That's a vibration. That's a symbol of what your guides are trying to tell you, what they're trying to show you, what they're trying to tell you at that point. It's a symbol for that. So it's a vibration of symbols, the vibration of energy, the vibration of connection to a higher sense of consciousness. So you're just training yourself. And these are just, a lot of people will go home, they won't have anybody in the house so you might have people in the house, but they might think you're crazy, you're nuts, what are you doing that for, what are you messing with that for? But these things I'm going to show you today will help you to increase your mediumship skills at home. You don't need somebody to do these for you. You just need to sit at home and work on them. Work on them and just look at them. What do the symbols mean? Keep a book. Keep some kind of, I call it your little mediumship journal. Mediumship journal. And what do things mean to you? What did something show to you today? How did it affect you? How's it working for you? Because once you set your psychic alphabet, it is then set. It has been put in motion. It is set for you as you do readings and put things in motion for someone. They're already set, vibrations set for that. Remember, I do cards too. These plain index, white index cards. Have to be plain on both sides. And get yourself a candle. Tapered candle works the best. Don't catch the whole house on fire. I'm not going to tell you to catch the house on fire. But you run this card over top of the candle until you're comfortable with it. If you get too close, the very top of the card will start, the top of this vibration will start to turn orange or yellow. It means you're too close to the flame, card's going to catch fire. But run it over the flame until you feel comfortable and then turn the card over. A lot of times you'll actually see pictures of people in spirit, pictures of situations with people in spirit that will be on the cards. Names, different things will appear in that. More symbols, more connections to spirit, more symbols in that vibration. So what you're doing is you're looking for the vibration of what it means to you. I explain to people, write on a card, take any card, piece of paper, write 3 things. That's what I teach in my mediumship class too. Write out 3 things. 3 things. 3 things. Doesn't matter what they are. They could be ocean, car, sunset. Whatever 3 words that you put on that card. Usually the card will symbolize past, present, future. And usually the words will symbolize that in what order they come out, what order they are printed on the paper. Signifies past, present, or future. So it pretty much gives you that kind of an aspect of a tarot reading right away. Then what does it mean to you? What does the ocean mean to you? Does it mean it change? Does the ocean waves? Does the ocean mean peace and quiet? What does the ocean mean to you? That is what that word will mean. And the same thing is with car. What does a car mean to you? If you get hit by a car, run over by a car, you won't like a car. But if you have a beautiful car and you really like your car, then you might have a whole different feeling of what a car is. Same thing with sunset or sunrise. What does that mean for you? Are you happy at sunset? Are you happy at sunrise? Or what is that vibrational meaning? Once you set that, once you put that in motion in your head, then now that's become part of your vocabulary. It becomes part of it. What you're doing is you're allowing these guides to step in really close to you and overshadow you. That's what you're allowing them to do, to overshadow your vibration. Once you get them to overshadow you, then there's this whole situation of understanding, oh my God, now we're going to see spirit. We're going to have a connection of spirit working with me. Sometimes individuals, they get in this work, they don't want to see spirit. Oh my God, they don't want to see spirit walking around their house. They don't want to see spirit in the room. They don't want to see spirit. So now all of a sudden you have to figure out, do you want to see them or not? If you tell spirit that you can't see them, you don't want to see them, you're probably not going to be able to see spirit. I love it when people say, well, I can't get names, Lo. I can't get names. If you keep telling your guides you can't get names, you probably won't get names. If you keep telling your guides you can't do that, your guides will listen to you and they won't bring it. So be open to spirit working with you. Be open to it. Many years ago when I was young, my mother used to have a table that used to have crystals in it. And she had all kinds of different crystals on this table. And she would have them in little compartments on this table. And then you would pick the crystals that you wanted. And I think at that time there was 4 crystals. She'd allow you to pick 4 crystals. And you would pick 4 stones within the table. And out of those 4 stones, she would tell you about your complete life and situations within your life. Just about what was going on in your vibration. So you have to realize that everything has this strong connection within your life. Everything has a strong connection. You have to allow yourself to find that vibration. Find that connection in the situation. See, everything, when you're working with cards, when you're working with different types of mediumship, then allow yourself to do that. I have a spirit box I have in my home, in my office, and in the box, it's just a regular wooden box that's got a lid on it. And in the box, I keep a lot of pencils and crayons and different things of paper, and I throw some paper in there, and I keep the box closed, and I keep it in my reading room, so that when I'm doing readings, different things, spirit can work in that space, draw something, and I usually, when I pull things out of there, they'll have little names, little small writings and names, and different things will be going on inside the box. So I have, that is another tool, another vibration, another situation of understanding spirit working. So you're working with the spirit box, you're working with cards, you're working with stones, you're working with vibrations around you. Allow yourself to find that passion within your life. No matter what you do mediumship, I want everybody to pretty much kind of do mediumship, to work with mediumship, to connect to it. But I don't want to tell you how to do it, because that will throw you off base. It will throw you into a situation within your life trying to read like someone else, or trying to propel something in your life like someone else's vibration. If you do that, what's going to happen is you'll never really finish the work, because you'll always be doing something that somebody else thought you should be doing, and you won't be happy with it. You won't be connected to it. I love it before I came out to Cassadaga, I used to do tarot readings, all kinds of card readings, different things in my life, because people liked me giving those readings. But when I came out here, that was a no-no. There's only mental mediumship in Cassadaga. There was no more cards. The only thing about that is when I do readings with cards, or any kinds of cards, what happens is I've got most of the decks, a lot of the decks in my life pretty well memorized and pretty much set in the vibration in front of me. And I can lay out a whole spread for someone in my mind's eye. And I can give them a reading for what Spirit has thrown out here. what Spirit has done here, I can give you a reading from. I do draw a tree and sign your name. That's another thing I just taught the other day in one of my classes. Just draw a tree and sign your name. By me not telling you how to draw the tree, where to sign your name, or whatever to do, I allow you to draw the tree and sign your name. Out of that tree and out of your name being signed somewhere on that vibration, I can give you a reading about your life. These are little tools that are work within the vibration of teaching or working with mediumship. Allowing yourself to get into that vibration within your life, allowing yourself to get yourself out of the way, out of the vibration, out of the way. And that's why I teach when I have people do readings for each other in my classes. A lot of times I will blindfold the ones giving the readings. I will blindfold them. So they have no idea who's sitting in front of them. They have no idea who's sitting there. So it allows them, they have to, when they do that reading for that individual, open their third eye. They can't see the person, they can't hear the person, they can't touch the person's hands. All they get to do is understand that there's a person sitting in front of them. What do they sense? What do they feel? They have to open up their senses, their third eye. They have to understand. By opening that up, that connects you to that higher sense of consciousness. You have to open up the pineal and the hypothalamus gland to get yourself into the spirit world. You have to raise your vibration to a high enough level that spirit can come to you at a high level. They're not going to come all the way down to a low level, a low vibration. That's why when we do seances, connection to working with spirit, vibrations, we're wanting everybody to sing, everybody to raise the vibration, raise the energy in the room, raise the situation within the room. We're asking people to do that. And if we're asking people to do that, if we just got really drunk and nobody's singing and everybody's in a mean, nasty mood, we're not going to get any spirit in the room. We're just not going to find them. We're not going to get them in the space. So find your connection of where you feel works for you with mediumship. What connects to you with the mediumship that you want to personally do. Tarot cards are a good way of getting yourself out of the way. By dealing the tarot cards and putting them out on the table, allow yourself to understand and put the cards out on the table and learn what the cards mean. Learn what the spreads mean. Learn what the spreads. And you might design your own spread. You might design I have my own spread of one of my cards it is not a spread that everybody else uses. It's one that I use as a spread that works quite extremely well for people. But it's a spread that actually I put out in front of myself, and that's what works for me. It fits the vibration for me when I do it. I could try to do the other ones. I could read that way, but it doesn't quite do the vibration that I'm looking for. So do the cards the way you feel it works for you. Design your own way. The big reason to make really good in this business or really understanding, get people to really speak to you and talk to you, is to find your niche. Your little quirky little niche, and what works for you. What works for you? Then figure that you don't want to be like everybody. You don't want to be out here and doing a psychic fair, and everybody in the psychic fair is doing numerology, and you're doing numerology, and you're all doing it exactly the same, exactly the vibrational same. You're not going to attract the business, the vibrations within your life to get you to where you need to be. Not because you have to be different. You should add something to what you do, something to what you propel for others that makes you stand out a little bit. So it allows all the numerologists, all the psychic readers, all the mediumship readers, a little bit different. So you're not getting the same reading from the same person. You're getting a little bit different. You're getting it a little bit different. And that's what you're teaching yourself. How does it work for you? And that's why you have classes. That's why people work with each other to try to bring through classes and situations within their life. What they're doing is they're trying to hone their skills. I know in this business, once you get certified, once you get out on your own, there's not a lot of people that are there to say, I'll help you. Got any questions about your work? There's not a lot of people doing that. Not a lot of people that you can say, I want to tell somebody that I'm not getting this. And sometimes we get to a point in our lives where we don't want people to know that we don't understand something. Even though we've been teaching it for a while and doing all this stuff for a while, we don't want others to know that we don't really understand that. So we don't ask people. We try to find the answer out on our own. But the question here is with classes, different workshops, different things that you can attend, ask your questions, ask your vibrations, ask your questions. There's probably somebody in the group that has been going through the same thing you are, and they found a solution. They found a solution to that vibration. Because remember, Spirit is always leading you down the path, helping you, encouraging you. The 10 to 15 guides that have followed you, the 10 to 15 guides that have followed you, the vibration within your life, the vibration within your life. I'm trying to find a question. The vibration within your life. So you have to figure out what is your connection, what is your vibration, what is your situation within your life. So allow yourself to find that, the connection. And what I'll do is I'm going to take Mindy out of Mindy. Do you have a question?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I'm just curious, what is the quickest way to raise your vibrations, right? I mean, you can do bare feet in the dirt, right? Probably some sage, maybe. Called out light.
Because you want to learn how to read the vibration, right? The quickest way to do that?
Yeah.
Quickest way I've found is there's a book on the market. It's called Living Rainbows. It's a very easy book. It's called Living Rainbows. It's teaching you how to see auric fields, auric fields. Once you get to see the auric field, then there's a spirit, guides, different things will appear in the auric field. But what you're looking to do is reading the energy of the vibration. When people cut the deck of the cards, they put their energy on the cards. They put their energy on the vibration of the cards.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're dealing with the cards or you're working with the cards, what you're doing is you're saying, they've dealt them the exact way, upside down, straight, whatever they dealt them to you. You go, oh, that's how you wanted them. Okay, because their energy has been placed in the cards. As you deal them out in front of them, you get an idea of what their energy and their vibration is. The vibration is. So that's a good way of reading somebody. When you're reading somebody and the vibration, you're allowing the energy to flow. And when you're in this work for a while, you're going to be able to actually feel that you're in the right mode. You're in the vibration. And when you're working at this, is try to watch people. See, when you're right on, and people say, oh my God, you're right on. You're doing it just exactly, oh my God, you're right on. Listen to what's going on around you. Do you feel something on the side of your face? Do you feel the hair on the back of your neck? Is there something going on around you, a feeling you get? What I get is I get like I'm floating. It's like I'm out of body floating when I'm right. When spirit's really, I'm in with spirit, my God, it's a float mode. I'm in a float. So the question is when I'm not in the float mode, I'm going, oh, I'm not quite there yet. Oh, I'm not there yet. So I try to raise my vibration and breathe. Breathe and get myself to a higher sense of consciousness. And breathing works. Breathing works with getting yourself to a higher consciousness, a higher vibration, and setting controls with your guides, setting controls. Telling your guides when you want to work, when you don't want to work. When you want them there, you explain to them what works for you. Because if they come back and slap you in the back of the head every single day, and you go, that hurts, that's terrible, I don't like that. And if you don't tell your guides you don't like it, your guides go, they must like that. Let's do it again today. And they'll keep doing it. You have to explain to them no. And explain to them how you want to work, how you want. And it's like today, I'm showing you the pendulum, the cards, different things. You might say, oh, I like that. I like that. I have friends of mine that do the flame cards. The flame cards, they take the index card, run it over a tapered candle, and they give a reading from whatever's on that card that produces itself on that card. And they're called spirit cards. It used to be in the day, you used to put them in a box and you used to set them out in the room and spirit would draw all the pictures on them. Now we had scrotographs. Scrotographs are energy with blank film, and then you would take chemicals and different things and develop a film. Well, most of the films and most of the stuff that you could buy back in the day are not in practice today. So we can't do that anymore. So that's why we use the spirit cards, the spirit. And if you sit home and your vibration and you sit there and you go, I'm going to go ahead and run this cards over this tapered candle. You can work at it. You can run some index cards. They don't have to have lines on, no lines, just plain index cards, and run them over the flames. If the top of the card turns yellow or orange, it means you're going to catch the card on fire. But as long as you run it over top of the card, you can actually get this whole vibration of pictures of spirit, pictures of guides and spirits within that, on that card. You'll get pictures of dogs, you'll get pictures of people, you'll get names, you'll get different things on that card once you look at it. And then you can start training yourself with the alphabet, by the psychic alphabet, because it's what it means to you. And I always want to explain that to people. We can get all the symbol books, all the stuff from the shelves. We can spend a lot of money buying all these symbol books. But until you understand what it means to you, because that's what your guides are doing. They're using your organic body to bring through that information to work through you. They'll bring me a whole different set of information to work through me, because it'll mean the same thing as it means to you, but it will show up in my vibration a lot differently, because it's what it means to me, not what it really means to you. So if someone's telling you, oh, red means this, well, if you want it to mean that, then great, and put that in your psychic vocabulary. But if you go, it doesn't mean that to me, it just really doesn't connect that doesn't mean that to me, then put something else in the vibration. So, but the one thing is the living rainbows do that. Meditate, get quiet, find a place in your house that you can sit and be quiet. Find a place that nobody else sits. Nobody sits there, because it's all psychometry. I don't care what mediums tell you and people tell you in this work, it's all psychometry. It's what it is. If somebody sits in circle, everybody sits in the same chair, everybody sits in the same space, everybody meets at the same time. That's psychometry. It's the energy of the space, energy of the vibrations you're putting into it. So find a place that you can sit every day, as long as you feel comfortable sitting. Usually I tell people not more than a half hour. You can sit there for 5 minutes if you want to, but just pick a time, pick a vibration. I tell people the best time to do it is at night, just before you go to sleep, because you're going to take your meditative state into your dream state. So you're going to go from one state to the next state, and it works extremely well. And then if you're starting this work, then keep some kind of journal. What's appearing? I don't care if you walk outside your house today and you see a hawk. You go, ooh, hawk. Then tomorrow, the hawk's still on the same line, still sitting out there looking at you. You go, okay, hawk's back, hawk's still here. And it keeps showing itself to you, a hawk. Then there's a meaning for that. There's a meaning your guides are trying to show you. It could be your animal totem. It could be a totem animal for you, or it could be something to you here in the very near future. So you're always watching what's appearing in front of you, what's getting your attention. That's what you're looking for. And in whatever tools you use, because there's, oh my God, I know how to, rope readings. Rope readings are taking pieces of rope, holding the rope up in the air, and asking a question and dropping it on the table. It's how it lands on the table. Do both ends of the rope connect? Does it make a letter? Does it do something on the table that connects? Does it do something else? Does it point off in a different direction? You look at the tables north, east, west, and south. You look at the table as a compass. The table has, and then you drop the things on. You drop the things on the table, and where are things mostly going? They go all the way to the southern part of the table, eastern part, northern part. Where do they go? And then you're trying to figure out what it means. What if they're laying on top of each other? What's going on with it? There's different things you can do with that. I do rock readings, as my mother used to do. I just place a bunch of rocks out on the table and have you pick 4 rocks. And out of the rocks, the meanings of the rocks, I give you a reading, because you pick those rocks out. I didn't tell all you to pick a certain rock. You picked a certain colors, you picked a certain vibrations, you picked a certain rocks. And they'll have a meaning to you. They'll have a meaning to the vibration. That's why I tell people to write three things out on a card. Write 3 words out on a card. Usually you write 3 words out. The first word you write is usually past. Second word you write is usually is the present. The last word you write on the card is your future. And you can try to throw me off base and write something weird. Doesn't matter. It's what you put on that card is what you really wanted on that card. and I give you a reading about your life, about that card, what you put on that card. The question is training yourself, because mediums are, some mediums are born speaking to spirit, talking to spirit, having spirit around them all the time. A lot of the times we're clairsentient. We feel things, we sense things, we have this going on, we sense it. We don't actually see the spirit, we sense them going here. And doing these little tools helps you to get you out of the way, keeps you in the next room, gets you out of the way, so that spirit can move with you, can walk in your vibration. That's why you're telling yourself all these little things. Go, nope, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that, spirit. We're not doing that today. And allow yourself to work with them, because if you don't, guides have a sense of humor. I'm telling you, I've been in this business way too long. Sometimes they have a little sick sense of humor. They want them running crazy, running roughshod over your vibration. No. They shouldn't wake you up in the middle of the night. There's nothing they need to tell you at 3 o'clock in the morning that you need to get up and put on a piece of paper. Unless the house is on fire or there's somebody breaking in the house, there's no reason for you to get up. There's no reason to be doing that. But people will do that. People say, oh my God, Lou, spirit got me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I had to get up and I had to start, what? Really? What? And then if the spirit gets you up the first night, then they'll try the second night. And if you get up again, they'll go, oh, we got him now. And they'll keep getting you up. They'll keep putting that in your vibration for you to do that. You set the rules. You set the vibration, because you are alive. They're dead. They are in the spirit world. They have moved to the spirit world. You are alive. You're on the earth plane. You are alive. You have control of how they work with your vibration. So, and it's the guides, the protectors, the people. You're looking to see what your guides are trying to show you. And well, you want to know a guide name? Fine. Ask your guides, oh, Lewis, I'd like to know what my guardian's name is, my gatekeeper. Drive around, spend the day. Ask in the morning when you get up, say, I'd like to know one of my guides' names. That's what you got to do. Then you turn on the news, there's somebody named George. You start driving to work, on the back of a truck, it's the name George. You get to work, there's something to do, and again about George. You go, okay, guys, I got the message. George. George is my guide. They're one of my guides. Okay, I got the message. They'll show you. They'll propel events and situations in your life to get your attention, or the guide will just appear in a meditation and introduce themselves. But the tools are all the rocks, the vibration of rocks, paper, sitting still in a vibration, doing things with your hands. I do a little finger. There's a whole study. My grandmother used to do it. It's called finger readings. And it's actually something to do with fingers and vibration with fingers. It has a lot to do with the palm reading, but also to do with the fingers. And I can do those too. And I mean, I learned how to do this from my grandmother. So you learn how to do those. There's a whole program on the internet that you can see about finger readings. And you go, oh, I like that. I like doing that. That'd be awesome. I could do that. But you want to see, as I said here, when you're doing this work, you don't want to just have one modality and say, I talk to dead people. You don't do anything else, because guarantee you the first customer you have will say, I don't want to talk to any dead people. Can you tell me about my life? Can you tell me where I'm going? Can you tell me what's happening with me? They're not going to ask you about any people that have crossed over the spirit world. They want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about who they are and what's going on in their life. And if you're not psychic, or you have no connection of how to work psychically, you're not going to be able to do a reading for this individual. Of any importance, you're not going to be able to do it because you don't have that psychic vibration going on with you. Because you start off a reading mediumistically, and you're going to end it psychically. Or you're going to start it psychically, talking about flowers and butterflies and everything, and you'll end up the reading talking about spirit and the reading mediumistically. But you're going to start out with two modalities, psychic, mediumist. You're either going to be either or, but you will be both of those during a reading. This won't stay dealing with people that have crossed over the spirit side of life. You will stay there, but you will go on to other things with the individual that's happening within their life at this point in their life. So you're always working, putting yourself in motion, getting yourself set. And that's what I tell people. It's just don't be discouraged if somebody goes, oh, you don't want to do that thing. I do ember readings. I do, once a year, I do a great big bonfire here. And people go up to the bonfire and rake the fire. They ask questions and rake the fire, rake the coals. And you can sit there next to the coals and watch, and faces will appear out of the coals and look at you. Their faces will actually turn, and you'll actually see their eyes looking at you from inside the coals. And from that, I get people readings. So the question here is, that might work for somebody, especially up north when it gets really cold and you got to have a bonfire. Learning how to rate the coals and learning how to rate the coals, you could give some extremely powerful readings, because spirit is already in the fire. They're already producing themselves. When I used to live up north, when we were up north, and we used to have the fire going in the fireplace, we used to take turns asking questions and us reading the fire within the fireplace.
That's cool.
So the fire would make designs, different things within the fireplace, and we would do readings, reading the fire within the fireplace. So a lot of these vibrations, teacup readings, I tell people, you have drink cream in your coffee in the morning. If you drink cream in your coffee, before you put the cream in your coffee, ask yourself a question. Drop enough cream in the coffee, then watch what the cream does when it hits the hot water of the coffee, and what symbols does it make inside your coffee. You'll have you could have a Y appear, you could have different faces appear, different things appear, give you an answer, give you an idea. You're going to call creamer readings. You can do that. You can do teacup readings. You can do coffee ground readings. You can do, oh my God, there's water readings. There's wax readings. I used to do those in a class. You get a bowl of water. You light yourself a candle. Glass candles work the best because they collect the wax. And just light yourself a candle, let it burn for a little while, get some wax in there, ask a question. Pour the wax into the water. What will happen is the wax will make faces. It'll do different things within the water. And then you'll be able to do a reading called water wax readings. And I used to do those in psychic fairs. People thought those were awesome because they would pour different colored waxes in the water, and different things would appear in the water, and you get them the reading. And they get to take the wax home with them because the faces would still be there. So you can do that. See, the question is not what you can do. It's what actually works for you. It's what fits the vibration for you. So if you're going, Louis, I need to do this, I need to do that, what radiates to you? So I could tell you, do tarot. I want you to do tarot, and you go, I don't like tarot. So I go, I want you to do it, though. You know, don't do that. Then don't put yourself in that situation, because if you have to walk, and like I remember, there's a song called "Walk Like an Egyptian."
Yeah.
You don't want to walk like an Egyptian when you're doing this work. You don't want to walk in the exact same way, the same footsteps, the same vibration as everyone else. Back in the day, mediumship and spirituality and spiritualist and all this stuff was a certain modality back in the late 1800s. But we have progressed. We have progressed with new technology, new vibrations coming out. So our energies, our vibration has progressed to the next level. It's not the same level it was when we were back in even back in the 60s, back in the 50s. It's still not the same energy as it was back in that direction. Energy has changed. Vibrations have changed. So the question is understanding what works for you, what fits the vibration for you, because when you find that sweet spot, you go, oh, there it is. Then you can always build off that. Once you find that core balance within your life, whether you do pendulum readings, whether you do paper readings, whether you do whatever different type of reading you do, what works for you? What's the sweet spot for you? That's perfect for me. I like it. And then go off to something else. Go off to something else in your vibration, because you always want to make sure that everything has a connection in your life. When I do tarot, and I have tarot, I tell people to get themselves a personal deck that they use strictly for themselves. Nobody touches the deck. Nobody messes that deck. It is your personal deck, your vibration for your own personal readings. I have plenty of decks here. I can let everybody touch these decks. Doesn't bother me. They're for public. They're public decks. They're not my decks. But if you take a deck and you have your own deck, then you should have a bag. I showed my bag up here. You have a deck within a bag, and you keep the deck covered. Any decks you use for this work should be kept covered, whether they're in the box, whether they're in a nice little cover that you keep them covered in. But what you're doing is you're trying to keep the energy within the deck. not to have it scattered all over the room.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to focus the energy within that deck. So having it in like a little cloth bag or somewhere or the box that it came into, you want to put it back in the same box or put it back in the box so the energy stays within the deck. And then when you go to do readings, so you're doing readings for somebody, you just really want to tap the deck on a piece of paper, tap the deck on a table before you start the reading. Then allow the person to shovel it, and then you deal the deck. But once you tap the deck, you break the energy from the person who had the deck before this person touched it. A lot of tools, a lot of vibrations in doing that. So the whole thing is just finding that purpose within your life, that connection to spirit. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that connection to spirit. You're looking for that. If you don't find it, then you're probably not going to be in this work. I've been in this work so many years that most of the people I started out in this work with, they're not in the work anymore. They're not doing it anymore. They've left the work. Or they never really got started in the work because it really didn't quite work for them. People bothered them. People told them they had to do the certain situation, and they never really got to their sweet spot in doing the work. So they just let it go. They just let it just not connect to in their life. And as you're young, you're able to connect spirit a lot quicker as you're younger because you're more open to the spirit world when you're younger. It's when you get older, past your 40s and in your 50s and 60s, now all of a sudden you want to rub all the rust off the door and try to open the door. Now we have a little bit more time to try to open the door. That's why when I do classes and I do have people sit in my class, a lot of times I'll have them blindfolded and I'll have somebody sitting in front of them. Not because I just have fun blindfolding them and just not because of that. The question is I want them to use their third eye. Unless I force them to use their third eye, they're going to look at somebody and go, oh, I know them. I can read them. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Mm-hmm.
If I blindfold you and you don't know who's sitting in front of you, they're not talking to you, they're not doing anything, and you don't know who's in front of you, you have to open your third eye to try to figure out what does Spirit want to tell you. And that starts to teach you. And your third eye will start to hurt a little bit. It'll start to get a little tender to the touch. And when you're meditating, look slightly up into your third eye. Look slightly up into your third eye, and then breathe. And find a moment of breathing. It usually works like if you breathe in for 7, hold it for 7, then vacate your lungs as long as you can. Go. Just breathe in for like a minute or two, and slightly look up into your third eye. It activates your hypothalamus, it activates your pineal gland, and it starts to, and you'll actually feel like a little headache, a small little pain here. Remember, the pain will go away. Don't say, oh my God, look, I got a small headache, but we're doing that stuff. Well, that's because you haven't opened it for a while. So once you get used to opening the door, it'll be a lot easier opening the vibration. When people do this work, I do this work constantly, mostly every day. I meditate, I get quiet, I work with spirit, I do it every day. So I never get a chance to have a lollygag with it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done it for a while. But if people don't do the work for a while, then they get scared when they get back into it. They go, oh, I wonder if I can do it now. Oh, and they put all this negative situation out into the spirit world. Now then, spirit has to get through all this negative energy to get back to you, to give you what they feel is best for you. It's when you're going into this work, don't tell them you can't do it. Don't tell them you're not going to be able to do it. Don't tell them any of that stuff. Tell them that you're ready. I am ready. I am open. I am ready. I am ready for the work. Because you have all the protectors wanting to work with you. So don't throw yourself off balance saying, oh my God, I can't do that. Oh my God, I'll never be able to accomplish that. I'll never be able to do that. But the question is I just had a family in my life that raised me in all kinds of modalities through Indian readings, rope readings, smoke readings, ember readings, card readings, tea readings, cream. I mean, I could go on the list that I was taught. And my mother always looked at me and said, doesn't matter what we're teaching you. Take to heart that what works the best for you, and the rest leave along the way. Somebody else will pick it up because they will love it. I never took everything with me because some of the stuff my mother taught me and my grandmother taught me didn't quite care for. I didn't like it. There was a certain kind of stick readings with sticks that you stuck in a fire, and the sticks would get burnt. They get a little black on the ends of them. And then the sticks will be burned at the ends of them if they stuck them in the fire. And they pulled the sticks out of the fire and stuck them into the ground and then pulled the sticks back out of the ground, the embers on the ends of the stick would have gone out, but there were pictures of people in situations on the ends of the sticks. I didn't care for that. I thought that was kind of, I don't know, it was okay, but it's not something that I would say, oh, let's go outside and burn some sticks. That's just, but it was something that I could get my head around if I really wanted to use it. The question here is finding what works the vibration for you. And remember, we all are born in this lifetime to connect to spirit. We're all that. Spirit would not have sent us down here with 10 to 15 guides, protectors, angelic presence, different things going on around us, if we weren't really supposed to connect to them, talk to them. Because they were supposed to walk behind us, keep their mouth shut, and us walk around and make all these crazy things happen in our lives. They're supposed to help us. That's why they get sent down with us, to help us on our journey. I explain to people there's 3 paths in our lives. There's always 3. It's body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I call the 3 paths. One path is to the Munchkin City. That's the path. 1 path to Munchkin City, 1 path to the Emerald City, and 1 path through the haunted forest with the flying monkeys. Now, we get to pick whatever path we need, and some of us take that path through the haunted forest, trying to outrun the flying monkeys when all they had to do was walk down to the Emerald City. But they took that crazy path. And I'm going, why are you over there? Oh, someone told me I should do this. I'm really? Okay. All right. And even if you do get a reading, a vibration from somebody, you get a reading with somebody says, oh, you need to do this. And you look at it and your higher self is going, oh, no, I'm not doing that. Just because somebody says, oh, my God, you should do that, doesn't mean you got to go over and do it. It means that there is a vibration. A lot of mediums and people in the vibration will get information. Now, that information might be something that could be appearing in your life not this year, not in the next 6 to 8 months, but could be appearing in your life in the next 24 months. Mm-hmm. And if you try to put it in motion right now, it's probably not going to work because it's not time for it. The timing isn't right yet. But the timing could be right in 24 months. So that's why you keep track of things. What are things appearing? The repetition, the vibration, and spirit. If you deal out cards and you deal out a card, it's a certain card, and you go, whew. Then tomorrow you shuffle the deck, you drop yourself another card, see what you picked. And it's the same card. And you keep picking the same card, the same vibration. There's a meaning for that. It's not haphazardly you picked it. There was a meaning why you picked it. There's a reason why you picked it. So you have to allow yourself to say, no, that is what I need to look at. Don't think everybody's got your welfare and your highest and best in order for you. Mm-hmm. That's why I keep my own deck. I read myself. If I allow people out here in Casadega to read me, I'd have a moving truck and they'd move me out of town. I'm not moving, but the question is, they would think I should be moving. So, but the question is as long as you find your journey, your vibration, by asking your guides, show me what I need to see. I tell people, I've said this now for months and years now. You quietly ask your guides, get a quiet moment in your life, say, okay, is there something I missed, something I should be doing, something that I should be putting in motion? Could you please show me? You're quietly asking your guides, every single one of them, 10 to 15 of them, say, is there something I missed here, guys, something I should be doing now? Could you please show me? Could you please bring that into my life? And then allow them to bring it into your life. Then you're looking for repetition. If it appears once, it's probably not it, because most of us are a little thick. We're not going to get it on the first try. We're just not. We need it a couple times. We need to be hit with it a couple times till we go, okay, all right, uncle, all right, okay, got it. Then we move off in the direction. So they're going to hit you 3 or more times with it, and it'll keep appearing in your life. The cutest story I have is when I told a lady, I said, watch, dear, watch your dreams, dear, watch your meditation, dear, watch what your guides are trying to tell you. So she kept singing a gondola, this beautiful gondola from Italy. And she kept asking me, she said, what's a gondola? She said, I'm not going to Italy. What's a gondola? I said, no, there's a sign there. There's a sign. Spirit wants you to see that sign. And sure enough, she ended up in a Publix behind a guy that had a gondola on the back of his shirt. I looked at her and told her that she should buy a certain lottery ticket. It was a $30 lottery ticket because he told her that you should buy that, dear, and he walked out of the store. She bought the ticket. She won $10 million.
Nice.
The question is now she could have said, "Oh, I'm not listening to him. I'm not buying no $30 ticket." But she remembered what I told her. I said, something's going to show up that's going to get your attention. You should at least look at it. Doesn't mean you have to take it. Spirit will bring things. Doesn't mean you have to take every single thing they bring you from the spirit world. But be watchful of what keeps appearing to get your attention. Same thing with mediumship tools and things. I went through a lot of tools today. Somebody might show you something. You might see something at a psychic fair or something. Go, oh my God, I like that. I like doing that. And then go work on that because your guides will point you to something, the vibration. I have a friend of mine in New Orleans. He reads bones, human bones.
Oh, nice.
Bones. He's a bone reader. He's really good at it, too. But not many people you find these days and times that are going to read bones. He got these bones from a medical institute, and he's got these bones, and he puts them out on the table, and he reads bones. And I think it's kind of cool the way he does it, and he's really good at it. So not something that I would do, not something that I want to be rummaging around with a bag of bones. But he likes it. That's what works for him. It fits the vibration for him. And he's different. He's different than most of the people that are reading. He's got these bones he reads. He's a bone reader. So he has this little bit of a different activity. Whether you put a different cover on your table, and I always tell people, if you feel comfortable, get a cover. If you're going to do readings and you're going to be out, let's say you're going to be out somewhere doing readings somewhere, then get yourself a cover. Get a thing that you would fit over a table. Keep it in your meditative space. Keep it around you. Keep something around you that you can personally take with you. You can't take your chair and take everything in your office with you when you do readings outside your home. But take something that, a stone, something that you would just have in that space, so that when you go to do readings, you set it on your table. You put it over your table. Then when you finish all those readings, you take it back home with you and you put it back away. Next time you go out again, you use the same cloth, the same vibration again. It's psychometry. It's the energy of the vibration of the energy of the situation, whether it's a stone, a cover for the table, certain deck of cards. What do you personally use every time you read? Every time you read, take that with you. You're going to bring the same energy to that table or that event or that vibration. So you don't have to worry about building more energy, getting more energy in the space. You're going to collect the same energy that works for you and bring it with you. You're going to bring your own personal energy with you. You don't want to get into an event that somebody else, there's a bunch of crazy readers all around you, and you'll just venture or slip right into the crazy reading unless you bring something in your life to keep yourself balanced while there are other people reading. That's the question, because a lot of times you'll read in places where people are right on top of you. And unless you have your own little personal situation, your own personal vibration, it'll keep you balanced as you're doing readings on somewhere else. So, but it's the tools. Find the tools. Find what works. Find what fits. Find what the motion. And find yourself what you really want to do. And I hope that helped. Now, this is going to be on YouTube. I'll probably post it today or tomorrow. It'll be on YouTube, on my channel on YouTube. And if you haven't been to my class, these things I do, there's about 60 videos on YouTube. You can look at them and figure out which one you like to look at, and you can see me doing the stuff. So, but I really want you to really find your vibration, your connection, your vibration of where you feel like you need to fit in this work. Whether it's automatic writing, whether it's doing mediumship, whether it's doing psychic work, whatever. Maybe you're doing healing, maybe you're doing some kind of healing or modality of healing, maybe you're doing trance work, whatever this is, whatever works for you. Follow that path and allow the other gifts from Spirit to arrive on the path ahead of you. But follow the path that works for you. Because if you want a teacher in your life, someone in your life that you know, I need a teacher, I need somebody, ask your guides. Then watch and see who appears in your life, who appears in your vibration to teach, to instruct. My mother used to say the teacher would arrive when the student is ready. So if you're ready to achieve what you want in your life, your teacher will arrive. And I hope you enjoyed that today. I hope you did.
I did. Thank you.
I'm going to take us out and take us out of the lecture mode.